I want you to look at me and say, she's just like me, she's growing. All right, friends, I am just going to start talking. I've wanted to do this all day and literally have come off the most harrowing bedtime. It was as if all 4 of my youngest children were just too tired to even fall asleep. I want to talk about how to cope. How do we cope with this too much of motherhood? We have this temptation to show people a corner of our lives. And I can show you that, and you can be like, oh, her life is so perfect. Her life is so lovely. She's such a perfect mom. Or I can show you this corner, but I can also show you that I took all of the clothes off my floor and set them on my bed so that I could have this corner of space that wouldn't look super messy. And that is the reality of motherhood. And that is the reality of being here on this forum. I don't want you to look at me and say, oh, she's so perfect. She does everything right. No, that's not me. But I do want you to look at me and say, she tries every single day to do a little bit better, to follow the leading of the Holy Spirit a little bit more, to love her children and to love the Lord and to be what God has called her to be. Not what the internet says she should be, not what friends or family or culture says that she should be. You cannot do it all. Anytime you choose something, you're choosing at the same time not to do something else. Even starting this YouTube channel, I am including something new in my life and in my day, and something else is taking a backseat to it. And you know what it is? Because it can't be the kids. They still have needs and they still need to be fed. And my husband still needs to be taken care of and loved. It's my house. It's not as clean as it was. Oh well. Because of that reality, something I always ask my husband when we are ever in a decision about something, even something so simple as whether or not to sign the kids up for sports. We ask ourselves, is it good for the family? Before we ask ourselves, is it good for the individual? Because we are a unit. We have to make decisions based on the good of everybody and not just the good of the one. Otherwise, you will be pulled in a million directions because, oh, it's so important to get your kids into sports. And if you're getting them in basketball, you need to do soccer. And they're so good at baseball. You need to give them that opportunity to do baseball. And because they're so good, they go on the All-Stars and then they travel. And so you're faced with all of these choices. And if you don't make the right one, you are given guilt. You are given pressure. And no one else is going to be at the end of the day in the darkness of night faced with your decisions for your kids. And so no one else should have say in those decisions except for God and except for your mentors and the people that you trust so much that you can lay it all down for them and they'll be encouraging you to do what's right, not what is culturally accepted or culturally expected. I want to tell you about my mom. She was a homeschool mom. She was a stay-at-home mom. She was mom of 6 kids, a do-everything mom. I look back in my memory and I can see her getting this look, this overwhelmed, frustrated look. This, in my recollection, I can see it being like a tight-lipped look. And then I can see her kind of shrugging it off and smiling and doing a complete turnaround. And when I think about my mom, I think about her choosing every single day, every minute of every single day, what was important for us kids. And you know how that looks sometimes? I think my grandma said it the best. My step-grandma came into our lives, I think I was about 11. She said when she met us, she came to my mom's house and the house was a mess. And there were dirty dishes in the sink and the counters were dirty and the floor needed vacuuming. And there was my mom sitting with a pile of kids in her lap, reading a book on the floor. And at the time, she was like, why is this woman doing that? And she looks back now and is always talking about this moment that she witnessed. She says, I see now. she chose what was important. Let me just remind you of that story in the Bible where Mary and Martha were with Jesus, and Martha was busy getting everything ready for the big party or the big meeting. And she came to Jesus, and Mary was just sitting and listening to Jesus, just sitting there at his feet. And she said, Jesus, I am busy getting everything ready. Would you please tell my sister to help me? Would you please tell her? And you know what Jesus said to Martha? Mary has chosen what is needful, and it will not be taken away from her. So my encouragement to you in this moment, that every day you are faced with a choice, and you can choose what is needful for your kids, what is needful for your family, and what is needful for you. I have confidence in you because you're a mom. You're amazing. Thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe. We have lots of other things to talk about. I'll see you next time.